Hello everyone, it is Danny Garola. I want to show you guys how to assemble those super cute darling donkey cards above, along with some of our other celebration items that we have. We've only got a couple more weeks of celebrations, and I want to show you our amazing products. You guys have to get your hands on this stuff. So, if you need to go in with another person and make your order a higher, a higher purchase to get yourself some of these amazing freebies. All right, so like I said, we're doing Darling Donkeys. This is the card that is on above the blog here. I want to show you this card, but I'm going to do it in a different variation, in a different variant of colors. I want to show you the possibilities and how neat the paper is. This is another celebrations item. It's called the Oh So Ombre. Let me show that to you. The Oh So Ombre is, you get the, I think this is Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay. Yep, the Bermuda Bay is what I did on this one. And then if you flip these over, look at that. Rococo Rose and Blackberry Bliss. So there's your solid ombres or your little circle ones on all of them. So that's a really cool item to get from Celebrations. You get a whole 6x6 pack of that. And there's a lot in there, and I've even used some. So just to show you those. All right, let's make this card. I'm going to use the Rococo Rose on this card that I'm making. So all of the dimensions are up above in that card recipe. So I'm not going to really give dimensions. I'm just going to show you how to put this card together once you have all your dimensions. Because even though this is a different color, all the dimensions are the same. In this card, the Bermuda Bay, I used that that wood grain look. I think it's called Pine Wood Planks. Was that embossing folder. I'm coming in with the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder for this one. This is the same size as your card base. So you're going to attach this straight to that card base. I think that's so beautiful. Okay, then we are going to have our piece of Rococo Rose along with our Oh So Ombre. I'm going to attach that directly to that. If you're watching this from YouTube and you want to know the dimensions of these cards, please go to my blog, which is Stampin sidebyside.blogspot.com, and you'll be able to get all the dimensions above. That is going to get placed there. This piece is going to go across here, and I know that I'm going to need to cut this little piece, which I should have done. I gave you guys the dimensions and then didn't even cut it. All right, there we go. That's going to get put up across the bottom there, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go ahead and die cut our layering circles. And I am using this is the biggest, then you go to this one, and then this one. So it's the third from the largest. I'm going to bring the Baby Boss in. And it fits perfect. Let me get my plates down here correctly. And it fits perfect in this Baby Boss and the 3x3 square I put there. There. There's our layer, there's our circle, scallop circle. And my stamp that I'm going to use. And see, on this one, I used the little donkey that was sitting down. I'm going to use a different donkey today. I'm going to use this one kicking up his heels. I just think that is adorable. Just like that. I think that is so cute. Alrighty. Give that a second to dry. I'm going to also put, on that card, I put Yeehaw on there. I think I might do It's Your Birthday. No, we're going to stay with Yeehaw. Come on with Rococo Rose. I'm going to move that little one off there for the moment so I can see our placement and stand up. I'm going to put this kind of right above his ear up here. Just like that. All right, now to come in and color him, I am using Crumb Cake of my Stampin' Blends. So I come in with my dark first, and I just kind of shadow where I want the darker parts. I'm going to come kind of across his ears, do his hair, definitely underneath his chin here, so it looks like a shadow, around over here by his butt, under his tummy. I'm going to go ahead and do his legs in the dark, because since they're underneath him, they're going to be darker. I'm going to do his tail in the dark. And I say he, but this could very well be a she donkey. And then I'm just going to go kind of over. Stampin' Up! Does a great job of giving us little tick marks to know where a shadow would be if you're into shadowing. I'm not the best at doing shadows. Okay, then I'm just going to come in with a light and just kind of blend that around. I'm going to try to blend that as much as I can to get that dark line to not be so predominant from our dark crumb cake. Okay, then I'm going to do his little feet or hooves in the light. Okay, then I'm going to come in with that ivory. I'm going to do his snout and the inside of his ears. And since when you order the ivory pin, you also get the bronze, I'm just going to do his little hairs on the back, his little mane, in kind of that dark. Okay, just like that. Then I use the light gray granite, and I do a little bit of shadowing down here so we don't look like I don't want him to look like he's floating. Alright, just like that. Alright, that is going to get put on dimensionals. I have some dimensionals here that need to be cut and used, so I'm going to do that. These are very usable parts of dimensionals. Don't ever throw that away just because you don't have the actual little hexagon. Okay, now I'm gonna put this kind of towards the top, but line that up where my sides and my top are pretty even, and then set that down. Now I can come in and glue this down. I get the little goobies off my glue, and you will get little goobies on the end of your glue there. Just, you know, pinch it off like that, and then it'll work just fine. Alright, that's going to get placed right again in the middle, watching our margins top and bottom. That could probably come down just a hair. Alright, now we need our little mini glue dots, which come in a box like this. I'm going to take these out. We're going to grab those In Good Taste elements. And we're going to put this with more dimensionals. Okay, take the backing off. Okay, now lay that right in the middle. again, watching our margins on all sides, just like that. Now we're going to take one of these, a couple of these snot dots, pop out our little elements. I did it kind of like XOX, but I think I'm going to do XOXO. No, you're never not supposed to put an even number of your elements on your cards. You're always supposed to put an odd number, so I'm going to stick with a 3. So I'm just going to come in here and take my element, put it on top of that, take my dot, place it on that, and then go to the next one, and then those things are already set on those. So now they're good and sticky. I'm going to do my little circle dot first, so I make sure I line it up right in the middle, and grab my X and my other X. And I'm kind of pushing that little mini glue dot up around those when I do that, so I have less glue kind of sticking out of those. There we go. Line that up. There's the outside of that card. Is that not just the cutest thing ever in that Rococo Rose? Love that color. Okay, let's do the inside of this card. So for the inside, I had another strip of that Rococo Rose that I just take across the bottom here. Ah, come on. There we go. Okay, that strip is going to go across here. And I left it a little longer to decide, you know, do I want more darker than I want lighter on there? And I think I do, so I'm going to go ahead and push that over to the edge like that. And then I'm going to cut these little side strips off. Just like that. Ah, it stuck to me somewhere. I don't know where it went. I don't know. I'll find it somewhere. It'll be stuck to me. Okay, there's that. I'm going to, in this card, I used the stamp from, it's called Here's a Card. It's a great set. It's got a lot of innies and outies. So an innie and an outie is, this would be on the like inside of the card or outside of the card, and then this would be on the inside. Happy birthday. I made a card, or I made you a card because you're worth it. So innies and outies on that one. Great set. That is not part of Celebrations. That's in our annual catalog. But today, since we're doing all about Celebrations, I'm going to come in with that super awesome birthday approaching perfection is what this is called. Great little sayings in this. I think for this card, I'm going to put, if things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. I like that. All right. Let me grab my block here. I'm going to stick that there and then take my block on it so I don't screw it up. And I'm going to grab the black Memento. Make sure that's good and inked. Put that right there. Oh, that came out beautiful. Ooh, what is on there? All right, now I'm going to grab those 3 little star-like things right up here from the donkeys. And I'm going to grab my Rococo Rose. one over here, and maybe one right there. There we go. All right, I like that. Make sure that's dry before I go and touch it. All right, there we go. Such a cute card. I love it. I really like that Rococo Rose. Okay, now let's do card number 2. Let me move some of my mess here so I can show you. And I gotta clean off a couple of my stamps. I had my chamois. Where did I put it? Alright, I need to clean off that yeehaw because we're going to use that again. Not yeehaw, hee-haw. Alright, the Age Perfection. We're not going to use again, but I just need to get that out of the way because I do need this stamp. Okay, I think we are good to go. All right, the next stamp or the next card is this one here. I love this little fold, and the thing that is great about this card is you actually use an 11 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, but you would cut your paper on the short side of your 8.5. You would cut it straight down the middle, so you'd be cutting it at your 4 1/4 mark. Then you're going to come in and you're going to cut off a 3-inch piece, or first you're going to actually score at 5.5. I take that back. You're going to score your 5.5 first, then cut off a 3-inch piece on the front of your card. So this will now be your front layer. This is Misty Moonlight, is what I'm doing it in now. I'm still going to be using that Flower and Field DSP, but I'm using a different pattern of that. So let's set my card over here so I can make sure I have everything cut and done right. All right, so there's that. Here's our, we're going to be using this, what is this? This is from the Flower and Field. This is the Misty Moonlight with that Just Jade, and that's the flip side. So let's go ahead and get this piece. I use the Meadow, what is it called? Meadow Moments. These are the small little embossing folders that fit in our mini boss, or baby boss, whatever you want to call that. The good thing is that Stampin' did for us is in the catalogs, they put a little symbol next to each one of our dies and each one of our embossing folders to let you know whether or not they will fit in our mini emboss, or you have to have the big emboss or the big boss to cut those. They kind of took that guesswork out. So if you go through and you look at a lot of our die cuts, you're going to see that quite a few of our die cuts can actually go through the mini boss. You just have to decide what dies you prefer and want to buy, and then know what machine you need to have. All right, there's that. This piece now gets our little white piece on there. And like I said, this is the 3-inch piece that came off the front of that. I'm going to take this piece and kind of just line it up. I'm not going to glue it down yet, because I'm going to take this donkey and I'm going to place that donkey right there on the front. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to grab the hee-haw and stamp it right across the front here, kind of at a diagonal. Okay, now I can take this piece and I can glue this on. And that's just going to fit right over that white. Okay. Again, I'm going to come in with my crumb cake. Oh, that's ivory. That's not what I wanted. Take the dark first. Do this donkey's little hairs. His legs, because we know his legs are under his body and there's going to be a shadow there. I'm going to also do his tail in the dark. Kind of really go into his neck here because his head is holding a shadow over his neck. Okay, that's all I'm going to do in that. Then I'm going to come in with the, make sure that's the light crumb cake. Also, if you're watching this from YouTube, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. That really helps me to be able to bring these videos to you and show you all these tutorials on these cards. Okay, I'm coming in with the ivory. You can also follow me on Facebook, which is Stampin' Side by Side. I'm going to do the dark on his hooves. Yep, that's dark. Also, I would love to be your demonstrator. I have a shop button right here on the blog and a shop button there on YouTube. And we do free giveaways every week on my Facebook page. Which I do a Funday Monday weekly, and we have giveaways. And the only thing you have to do on that is hit the like, comment, or share button, and you get entered into that week's card giveaway. So watch for the weekly cards. Alright, that's going to go on the front, but first I'm going to grab this inside piece, which I'm going to take. This is the same piece that we used here, but I'm going to use the flip side to show that beautiful Just Jade. Oh, I need a drink. Okay, grab that Just Jade piece. And that again just going to line up right on top of that white. Okay, then I'm going to take the little donkey that is holding the little rose in its mouth, and I'm only going to stamp the top portion of it right over here in this corner, just like that. Then again, I'm going to come in with that Age to Perfection. I can stick this back inside here now. And I am going to use the So What If You're a Year Older, You're Fabulous. Isn't that cute? Oh, I gotta get the bigger block here. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to line this up in here before I stamp that. And know that that is going to come over the center there. So when I go to stamp this, I know that I need to go right in this area because we want that front fold to cover over our wording. Okay, that worked out perfect. Ooh, I like it when things work perfectly. Doesn't happen very often. All right, we gotta come in here and color this. See, I keep grabbing that ivory. Light crumb cake, dark crumb cake. We need the dark first. Just kind of quickly color this donkey. Oops, I forgot to do his tail. His tail needs to be dark. And remember, I'm using that Memento ink to stamp these donkeys so I can make sure I can come in with my Stampin' blends and not smear that black outline of our donkey. Some inks will not handle these pens because these pens are alcohol based and they don't work well with, let me take that off there so I can color that. They don't work well with every outline ink that you choose. Okay, there's that. Now I can grab that ivory since that's what I keep grabbing. Now on this card, I took a cherry cobbler pen and colored that in along with the granny apple and did this green here on that. But for this card, I'm going to grab Just Jade, not dark spruce, where's Just Jade? Oh, I'm grabbing in the wrong spot, that's why. All right, I'm gonna grab the dark Just Jade. And since it's such a small little area, I'm just barely dabbing ink on that. All right, there's that. And then for that flower, I'm gonna take my Misty Moonlight, but I'm gonna take the light Misty Moonlight. because I think the dark would be too dark. And just go like that, just to tie those colors in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and attach this piece now. I love how these colors just tie together. Oops, I just moved that, darn it. I had it straight and then touched it. All right, that's gonna go like that. Now we're gonna grab that piece that we did before, and we know that we're gonna probably go to this line here. So then we're gonna grab our dimensionals. And before I open up another pack, I'm gonna use these up because, hey, why not? So like I said, I know that my line is there, so I'm gonna come this corner, and then kind of flip that, see where my line is, and then go to like right there, put another one in the middle, and then another one right down there. All right, so that works like that. Take those off. Now I know that I have mine where the seam of that paper lies, so then I can just place that on there, watching my margins, which I'm not. Okay, that's gonna sit like that. Now see how I put that wording in there, that's gonna cover that. So then when you open it, then you'll see how they're fabulous. Now, just a little bit of the Just Jade. This is called the In Color ribbon. This is the 2022. Now be careful cutting this. I haven't used this yet. Kind of have to pick up that clear coat, but you got to be very, very careful because our snips are sharp as ever. That is one thing that people love about our snips. But I will tell you, if they get you, you're gonna bleed. All right, so I'm just gonna take this. I'm gonna kind of line it up underneath because I know my dimensionals are gonna stop it. Take that like that, pull some of that up. Leave kind of an extra long piece here. Like I said, slide it up to as far as I can. I want it to cover that seam. So I'm gonna hold that, take it down, hold it on my finger there, and I'm just tying a knot. Just like that. Now I want to come in here and kind of snip some of these sides off. This one's still a little too long. All right, just like that. So that sits over, and if you want, you can take a little mini glue dot and stick underneath that so this doesn't move around so you don't see that seam there. But is that not just the cutest? So this one, I used the yellow, that's called Bumblebee, and I did the little red. I should have done that in yellow, so there's another option for you. But this is Cherry Cobbler along with that Bumblebee, and this here is the flip side of this paper. Cuteness overload. And here I used the Ornate Garden embossing folder. Here was the Meadow Moments. And then our two, this one's using the Pinewood Planks, and this one is Dainty Diamonds. So see how just a variant in color just adds such a different look to these cards, but they're the same exact pattern. All right, you guys have a good one. I hope you guys try to make a couple of these cards, and definitely place those orders and get yourself some of those freebies, because you have to have the donkeys. If you don't get anything else from Celebrations, you have to have donkeys. And okay, maybe the Approaching Perfection, because you could do these cards with any of our designer series paper, because all of our paper is double-sided. Alrighty, have a good one.